When you create more of these places to go and more access to the outdoors, you're going to get a lot more users. And with that new volume of people creates new opportunities to create innovative new products.
This is the Startup Junkies podcast.
All right. And we are back with another episode of the Startup Junkies podcast. Thanks for tuning in from wherever and however you're tuning in with us today. We appreciate you. My name is Talley, proud member of the Startup Junkie team, joined by my co-host, Jeff Amerine. How's it going, Jeff?
Hey, man. Good. Great day to be talking about the outdoors.
Absolutely. Huh? This is one of the nicest days we've had in Arkansas in 2026, that's for sure. So we're excited to be talking with Katherine Andrews. Katherine's the director of the Office of Outdoor Recreation at the state of Arkansas. Katherine, how's it going?
It's great. You're right. Every day is a good day to be talking about outdoor recreation, especially today because the sun's out, it's shining, it's nice and warm. Go outside and play.
Awesome. So, for those listening that might not be familiar kind of with the department or the office that you serve, tell us a little bit about the Office of Outdoor Recreation.
Yeah, so we were created in 2021 by executive order under then Governor Asa Hutchinson, really with the goal of expanding outdoor rec across the state and growing the outdoor recreation economy. And one way that we really like to do that is by leveraging resources for the outdoor recreation industry in Arkansas. And it's a huge economic powerhouse for the state. The reason that it was created was to pull all of these different initiatives that were happening all across Arkansas to build more outdoor recreation places, to build up the industry in different ways. Really in being this collaborative place where all of these things can happen. And on the industry side, we do a lot of work with entrepreneurs and making sure that they have access to resources. So we're super excited to be talking about that with you guys today.
As you look at the overall statewide impact, where would outdoor recreation and all things related rank in terms of the overall impact based on other industries and whatnot?
Outdoor rec is over $7 billion generator to our economy, which has surpassed farming. It's not above agriculture, but it has surpassed the activity of farming. So everything that goes into that number is generated from manufacturing, the activity of outdoor recreation. So when somebody goes and they hire a guide service, that gets counted in. But a very large percentage of that comes from the companies in Arkansas making products and selling services. So boat manufacturers, one of our largest companies in outdoor recreation in Arkansas is Remington. So all of the products, the shotgun shells that they make, plus all of your smaller services, hospitality lodges, duck guides, duck lodges, fishing guides, anything, all of that counts in those numbers.
And for the folks that aren't familiar, and I'm speaking now an anecdote from my experience, my brother, outside of being a full-time firefighter, he is a duck guide in East Arkansas and spends half of his time, well, more than half of his time during duck season, taking out folks from all over the country and all over the world that come from all over to Arkansas to participate in duck hunting. And so it's just crazy having that perspective to see what just an absolute, infrastructure or economic element that is. That's just one piece of the puzzle, obviously.
Yeah, a lot of communities across Arkansas are starting to understand really the importance and the magnitude behind what that can really translate to, especially drawing in the tourism aspect of outdoor rec. And so you're seeing communities all across Arkansas leaning really hard into that, where in the past, economic development used to look like chasing smokestacks and recruiting really, really large industrial facilities, which is still the case, but in large part now, we see a lot of organic rural economic development coming from initiatives like building more outdoor recreation places.
But when people historically think of Arkansas, or for that matter, the South, they think about hunting and fishing. But the outdoor recreation arena is much greater than that in Arkansas now in terms of things like hiking and soft surface trails and mountain biking and downhill biking and rock climbing and kayaking and all that. I mean, talk about how it's changed the context of how we think about it, how we promote it, and some of the things that are happening in the outdoor space that might be kind of unexpected for our listeners.
Right. Arkansas, I mean, as everybody knows, has cut its teeth on hunting and fishing. We're a hunting and fishing state. That's what we grew up on. And that will always be the base and core of the outdoor economy in Arkansas. You'll see the biggest numbers in terms of manufacturing and GDP come from the boating, the fishing, and the hunting parts of the industry. But in many recent years, you've seen the rise and the uptick of certain activities like mountain biking, like gravel cycling, like climbing, like paddling, camping, hiking, obviously are big, but those are rising as well. RVing, ATVing, all of these activities are rising in terms of participation numbers across the state. And what we see as opportunity there is really companies can come in, entrepreneurs can come in and capitalize on all of these new people taking part in those activities across the state, because we are building more, not just as a state agency through our state parks and others, but in local areas, towns, cities, counties all across the state are building new places, not just hunting and fishing places. So climbing facilities, building more canoe and kayak launch ramps, fishing piers, mountain bike trails obviously are huge, designating gravel routes. When you create more of these places to go and more access to the outdoors, you're going to get a lot more users. And with that new volume of people creates new opportunities to create innovative new products.
And I feel like too the ability, the kind of space available to communities that, regardless of where they are in Arkansas, it creates a channel or an opportunity for them to have some agency around how they might pursue economic development efforts within their community. They're not bound by your traditional ingredients for economic development, and so it kind of gives them kind of some space to potentially get creative of what that means for them and how they participate and how they can enter this kind of opportunity.
Yeah. Recently, Trust for Public Land did a study, a nationwide study, and found that mountain bike tourism, so when somebody comes to a town to mountain bike, they're not a local. When somebody comes to a town to mountain bike, they're spending over $300 a day. And that's them staying in a local B&B or a hotel or some kind of lodging facility. Plus, they're eating downtown, they're shopping, they're going to the antique store, they're getting coffee, they're buying a beer. There's a lot of local economic opportunity that comes from bringing in folks to town for outdoor recreation. And then another study that was just done a couple years ago in the state of Utah, they did a study of tech sector employees, and they asked them questions like, why did you move to Utah for your job in the tech sector? And the number one reason was access to outdoor recreation. So we know that, number one, for the tourism aspect, it's great for local economic development, but it also works in terms of workforce recruitment, business retention, all of those great things.
It's really kind of a cool part of the story, and that for people that might be a little geographically challenged, have difficulty finding Arkansas on the map, we have the benefit of a really pretty mild 4-season climate. And there's every kind of geography that you would want in the state in terms of if you want mountains, we've got mountains. If you want to do things that are more appropriate for wide open plains, we have that, and kind of everything in between. And it's also got a population density that means in any direction from any major area that you might be in, you can be in the country in no time, which is a little different. Having spent a fair amount of my lifetime on the Capitol Beltway, I can tell you it's a whole lot different than the Mid-Atlantic.
Yeah, you can hit the trail pretty much from anywhere in Arkansas within 15, 20 minutes. You don't have to drive too far or commute too far to get to some outdoor rec. And Jeff, you're right. Arkansas is, if you look at a topographic map of the United States, Arkansas is pretty unique. It's pretty flat all around us, but Arkansas, we've got over 600,000 acres of lakes, thousands of miles of streams and rivers. Arkansas is the only state in the United States where you can hunt both an elk and an alligator in the same state. We have world record trout, the mountain bike capital of the world, the duck capital of the world, the trout capital of the United States. I mean, on and on and on. There's so many reasons why Arkansas is such an outdoor haven.
And why its nickname is the natural state.
And the dollar will go a little farther here too.
Exactly.
I mean, it's affordable place for a vacation or recreation spot. No doubt about it.
And not just that, but our administration has really leaned in hard as well on outdoor recreation. They're placing a big priority as one of their pillars, focus areas within this administration. So the governor has created the Natural State Initiative, which brings together a lot of the larger state agencies plus some outside folks. And we've been working really hard to identify some areas across the state where we can see some further growth for the economy.
The Startup Junkies podcast is brought to you in part by Arise. Arise helps Arkansas tech and tech-enabled startups grow with no-cost coaching, capital navigation, and expert connections so founders can scale faster. Learn more at arisearkansas.org. Talk to me a little bit about how this is kind of culminated in the Governor's Conference on Tourism and Outdoor Economy Summit. What is for those listening who aren't necessarily familiar with that, what is that exactly?
In 2023, we held the first Arkansas Outdoor Economy Summit, and we had about 100 people there. We were hoping to get about 75, but we broke the barrier. We brought about 100 people, stuffed everybody into this room for the first time, really to discuss how we grow the outdoor economy in Arkansas together. You've got all of these agencies like Game and Fish and state parks and RDOT, all of these big state agencies plus federal ones. Plus you've got all of the ancillary groups, NGOs and industry, but nobody had really gotten together on a large scale to figure out how to do all of this together and work together on things. So really that's what we set out to do. And we did that in 2023. So then in 2025, we had our next Arkansas Outdoor Economy Summit. But that time we combined it with the Governor's Conference on Tourism. And so we were able to talk to a larger audience, bring a lot more folks together to talk about this and in different ways and with different perspectives. And now this year, we're excited because 2026 will be the first year that we have completely combined and co-located, rebranded the conference to, and we're calling it the Governor's Conference on Tourism and Outdoor Recreation. So completely elevating the image of outdoor rec on a statewide scale and really bringing it to the conference in a totally new way.
What can people expect when they participate or they attend or whether they're a stakeholder or a community member? What does engagement look like?
We are putting together some sessions, everything from balancing recreation, conservation, and tourism to what does workforce development look like for the outdoor industry in Arkansas. We've got some really great keynotes who will be there. Our University of Arkansas is going to talk about some of their workforce efforts. We've got some really great companies who are going to talk about their experience growing a business in Arkansas, specifically in the outdoor recreation space. And that's not just your guides and outfitters, but we've got manufacturers, people in rec tech, recreation technology type of businesses. So it's all across the board, from the conservation and experience side of things to the more manufacturing workforce development.
Into a sneak peek as well, a pitch competition component. The first night of that event, which we're proud to be a part of and to get to help bring together, and excited for what that comes together to be in terms of scalable ventures from in and around the state, as well as idea stage startups getting to pitch live from the stage and getting to share their vision for a outdoor recreation adjacent business.
We are so excited about this. This is going to be the inaugural Arkansas Outdoor Pitch Night. So it'll be Monday, February 23rd at the State House Convention Center in Little Rock from 5 to 7:30 p.m. You can buy a separate ticket just for Pitch Night, or you can buy a ticket to the whole session and be part of the whole thing, the whole conference. But that night is specifically designed to get investors, media, excited folks, and entrepreneurs in the same room at the same time, which really has never been done on a broad scale like that. We've had other pitch competitions, but none directly focused on a broad scale outdoor recreation activity. So we've got 4 different sections for our entrepreneurs. One is Idea Fame that you guys are helping us with. So you get up there, 60 seconds, no notes, no slides, shout out your idea. The second is our service-based. So really your hospitality kind of guides, outfitters, really think that hospitality service-based. And then rec tech. So technology, think Onyx maps, think digital platforms for booking, that type of feature. And then your product based. So really that Shark Tank style, you're building a product that gets sold in REI or Dick's or Cabela's or Bass Pro or Walmart. And we've got some really amazing judges and prizes that will be given out after judging. You get dinner, you get some drinks. It's going to be fun. Jeff Amerine is going to MC. It's going to be awesome. We're super excited about it.
It was all great up until that point. I'm excited about it. This kind of top of funnel convening. We've seen amazing stuff come out of these sorts of things in the past, and it's really kind of essential for reinforcement of the entrepreneurial culture that we want to instill in sectors like outdoor rec. So it'll be super cool. Mm-hmm. I couldn't be more excited about it.
We're very excited. So as we kind of, because I know you've got a full schedule and we don't want to take up too much of your time, but as we wrap the conversation, just want to get from you what you're most excited about with this year's event.
We have some really cool excursions that we're doing this year that are part of the whole conference. So not only are we going to be doing some really cool stuff around Little Rock, like going to the Presidential Center, going and touring the Capitol, but we have 2 manufacturing tours. So if you buy your ticket and you're part of the larger Governor's Conference on Tourism and Outdoor Rec, you could go to either Remington or Aloha Boats and get a tour of their manufacturing center if that's of interest. So we're super excited about it. There's a lot of really cool stuff happening, a lot of really cool people that will be speaking. So it's going to be great.
So for those interested in attending, participating, they want to get tickets to the entire event or even just the pitch event, where might they find more information and get their tickets?
You can go to arkansas.com and search for Governor's Conference, and you'll find all of the information there.
Awesome. And we will share those in the show notes as well, and as well as our social media channels. Katherine, it was a pleasure to chat with you.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, take it easy. We're excited about all you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you.
If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to share with a friend. Subscribe and review because it matters to us and we want to hear from you. If you're interested in learning how to work with us, check out the information below. See you next week.